And this is where I usually get things screwed up. Hey everyone, this is Bo. Welcome to the shop. I've got a quick little video here, not too technical, but might be of interest to some folks. I've been asked to make a small transition piece to go from inside a house where the floors are actually at different elevations. It's an older home. It's common additions, things like that. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to make a transition piece that's, hopefully you can see it on the camera, looks something like this. We have a kitchen out here and a dining room out here, and that's where the floor elevation difference is. So I have a piece of wood that's been milled to be, it's 1 3/4 wide by 1 1/4 tall. And so here's the piece of wood, white oak. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out this shape on both ends of the piece of lumber, and then we're going to move on to the table saw and start cutting it to size. So here we go. All right, so we've got our piece laid out here. I'm sorry, our cut lines laid out with some marks to indicate where the material is going to get removed. And this is where I usually get things screwed up, and that's in the cut sequence. I'll just kind of start cutting out to my lines, and then I'll realize that my last cut, the board is really unstable on the table saw. It's just sitting on a very small edge. So I want to minimize that as much as I can. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the 45-degree angle on this edge. That will leave me with a rather small surface here for it to ride on, but it will be after the blade. I do have something helping hold down that end, and then as well I have a feather board is going to help keep some pressure against the fence and hold that in against the fence for me. From there, I'm going to move on to cutting what's going to be this line of my groove back here. That'll give me, I'm just going to do a partial cut through the depth, so this whole thing will be able to ride in the surface, and then my very last cut is going to be chunking out the rest of this groove or rabbet in the back. And that will still leave me quite a bit of surface. Basically that triangle piece will still be on the table saw as I cut away that groove or rabbet piece on the back. So here we go. We're going to cut that in the table saw. Should be 3 cuts, just a little bit of setup for each one, and then we'll be done. All right, so there we go. We've got ourselves a nice little transition made. If it wasn't for my dull plane bait, it would have turned out real nice. I got a little more cleanup work to do with the sander, but other than that, it's all set. Got a little edge here, and then the 1-inch elevation change, and a little lip on top to cover up the hardwood floor on the top. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.